The hardest single thing to do as a filmmaker is to choose your subject. What are you going to do? A bit like being a painter, what are you going to paint? And when you first begin, there's a million options, and because one tends to go in circles. What am I going to make this film about? What is my story? What is my script going to be about? As you get more experienced or get more, older, your choices become more focused. So right now, this time, I only have about 4 things really in process, in development, that are fundamentally written and are being polished. So off that, and I don't have a list of 40 or 50 subjects. And when I first started, I didn't know what to do other than the fact I knew I wanted to make a film. And I couldn't get a camera until I wrote a script, which is the best lure in the world. You want that Bolex, which is a clockwork camera, you gotta write the screenplay. So I, at that moment, was into James Joyce, and particularly Ulysses, with all his wonderful descriptive passages. And so for the moment, I became James Joyce for about a couple of months, where I sat down, literally wrote a screenplay. Off the screenplay, I got to borrow the film and got the camera, and having got the camera, I made a film with my brother, which is called Boy and the Bicycle, which actually I thought was the starting box. Thereafter, I never made a film till I was 40, never got a shot until I was 40, because at that moment I was like 20. In those days, I would live in the National Film Theatre, because I could go there on a student's ticket. I was at the Royal College of Art, and I would go at the National Film Theatre across in the West Bank, and I would be there 5 nights a week on a student ticket. I'd have a beer and have a pack to go on, sit there and smoke. You could smoke. And particularly a genius really was Ingmar Bergman. Whether it was something as exotic as The Innocents or The Seventh Seal, but then he got into social subjects which were incredible. There's Wild Strawberries was a beautiful context. So was Summer with Monica was the first Bergman I ever saw, and I was absolutely enchanted with his view on people and lives in the spaces, the environments were always somehow beautiful. I came in the long route, and no film school. Film school to me was the first chance I got an opportunity to do a commercial. I was an art director first. I was a good art director. I got jumped into a seniority at BBC to be a designer. And because of my senior position, they decided to give me a production course at BBC to enable me to kind of realize what the difference a producer and director had of getting these shows onto the air. It was fatal to give me that, because the course lasted 6 weeks. And in so doing, I had a studio at the end of it all with as if airtime conditions with 6 cameras, full rehearsal, and I would get to record it at the end of the day. And so you had very little money to do this. I decided in one day to actually do a potted edition of Paths of Glory, which is entirely stupid, really. But I somehow narrowed it down to, in my naivete, I'd do the battle scene in Wimbledon Common, the Somme on Wimbledon Common, with 3 or 4 people with bayonets and head and lots of smoke and stuff. And then I would do the resolution, which is to teach the others, to encourage the others, where they executed people. I did the courtroom as a set, but it was the first real discipline. At this point, I think I was 26, 27. First real discipline to say, what's the play? What are you going to do? How are you going to put it down? You've got to script it. And so also, because I was dealing with 6 cameramen, there was no cameraman for me to actually talk to other than camera one. There's 5 other cameras. What happened was, it was a fantastically good show. So off it, I was offered a program to do the following week. And the criteria was, there's the script, you've got Office 2012 in the television center, here's your PA, you run live in 3 weeks. That was it. Which I thought was crazily irresponsible. And I just sat down with unfortunately my PA was a terrific woman who had been through many battles of live television. So I had to sit and cast the thing with her with the 2-book spotlight. I'd say, what's she like? She said, no good. She's good. So we wrote a list. We cast it that way. I met them in outside rehearsal, and it was the blind leading the blind. I was terrified of actors because I didn't know how to talk to them. So everything tended to be how it would look, and stand here and go back there, move here and do this. So it was kind of cart before the horse, really. And I was on this learning curve where I made quite a few mistakes. Doing television commercials helped enormously, polishing the chit-chat between me and the person in front of the lens. But because most takes are no longer than 20 seconds, 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, it's more about capturing a moment, or somebody looking particularly beautiful or somebody looking particularly dramatic in a 4-second shot. It was more about the image than delivery of line. So I would not experience real dealing with real actors till I was 40, when I got this film going called The Duelists. And in The Duelists, I suddenly was meeting the real thing with extended scenes and all that kind of thing. And remember, I'd only been doing what I call short shift, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 60-second commercials for the past 18 years, flat out. So the stuff of making it look great was dead easy, but the tricky thing was actually dealing with the actor. In the process between the ages of 40 and forward, I gradually got better. I'm still, I'm very comfortable with actors, and what I discovered in the process, because I know more about what I'm doing than the average director, because I storyboard everything. And I do it personally. I have to. It's not stick figures. It's real close-up medium board. So I'm already boarding in relation to the locations I've seen or the sets I'm planning. So I know exactly organically how a scene's going to move. And that confidence bleeds to the actor. So I found inordinate trust almost immediately. And because I said, you're going to do that, you're going to come in, you're going to do that, you're going to do that. And they would go, okay. I said, so then I realized, stop rehearsing, because when you rehearse, inevitably the actor will do it, and you think, damn, they just did it. So I would then say, right, stop, we're not going to rehearse. We're just going to walk through for focus and marks. Then I'm going to, on the first take, we're going to shoot, we're going to film. And there was always this horror of filming as if you're running through gold dust through the gate. And you're not, you're running through nothing. You're running through a bit of celluloid, or digitally you're running through nothing. So to not be turning on your first take, you're out of your goddamn mind. Because inevitably the actor is locked and loaded, and they will deliver mostly all of what you want within the first or second take. Everything after that is a revolution of what you thought you had when you weren't turning. If I'd come up through proper drama school or come up through theatre as an actor, as a director, I'd have sat down there for weeks and talked about a play. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you talk about for 2.5 months before you go on the stage. Christ almighty. So, and that, God bless theatre. But my theory to the actor, and suddenly narrowed this right down to the truth, to the heart of the matter. You're a theatre actor. Every night, you're going to stand in the wings next to the curtain, and out there is a void with 300, 400, 1,000 people. You're going to get no rehearsal. You're going to walk out there, and you are on, uninterrupted, for the first act. So to me, when I'm saying, listen, I don't want you to waste what you've got juiced up. I want to be turning when you come out from that curtain, which I'm saying action. So they say, that makes sense. That I know. So let's do it. So when you do that, plus I always work with a minimum of 4 to 6 cameras, a scene that's scheduled to shoot by the end of the day, let's say, I'm done by 11 o'clock. If I'm shooting you right now, and I'm the actor, and there's a camera here, I'm shooting your close-up right now, then they go, right, we got that, let's do the wide shot, or vice versa. So you've already, the guy off camera, me, I'm getting worn out listening to you do your scene. If I match it and get it, and I get close-up and wide 2-shot from here and here, I've just saved you all your effort and all your... It's like telling the joke 19,000 times. The joke doesn't get funny after 4 takes. If you're doing 30, 40, 50 takes, you don't know what you're doing.